Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should, grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
Ahem. You were amazing, dear. As always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Ibn will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey.
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance. Gee, that is a, unique picture, and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure. considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination. I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
Men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure. Seriously, how did you find me? Not even my boss knows where I live.
Although I didn't include Ibn in my little private mission, some of his resources were still available to me.
Yeah, let me guess. There's someone at the station working for him.
Someone? You're so cute when you're playing naive.
Have you ever had dealings with the police?
Not in this city.
And otherwise?
Does it really matter, Mr. Featherland?
Maybe it does. More than a little.
I'm afraid you'll have to unravel that thread yourself. But you will find nothing but a dead end.
You got a beautiful place here, Natasha. A peaceful little island on the ocean of madness, with very classy furniture.
Ibn likes me surrounded by elegant things,
You're an elegant thing yourself, sweetheart.
Oh, that's charming. Thank you, detective.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
You tell me. What can you tell me about Ibn Wessler?
You should be more specific. What do you want to know?
How much do you know about Ibn's business dealings?
More than most wives do. About as much as lovers would, but not that much. I see what I see, but I choose not to pay attention.
Maybe that's smart of you, maybe it's the opposite. In any case, you get the Clawville tone.
What do you mean?
Well, I've worked in a lot of cities and a lot of countries, ma'am, but the art of beating around the bush is masterful here, and you're a true artist.
I take that as a compliment, Mr. Featherland.
It was meant to be one, Miss Katsenko. Don't you see a correlation between your partner's activity and the threats?
That's a disappointing cop-like question.
I am a cop.
Yes, but you're different. You're too rough on the outside and too vulnerable on the inside for a regular cop.
Am I that transparent?
A little bit. My eyesight's better than most.
Seriously, Natasha, don't you worry about the possibility of a connection?
Of course I worry about it. I'm not stupid. Those who are clever learn to fear. I learned at a young age, before I even had the chance to live.
Gee, well, thank you for your honesty. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall, in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty. Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat?
Every interracial relationship has risk, but yes, this one's more conspicuous than most.
Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical transgressions than I do.
One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am. So, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are. And you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace.
It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it.
Maybe one day you'll experience it, Sonny. Have you ever been with a predator before?
Well, that's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around, if you don't mind.
As you wish, Sonny.
How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
In all my life? Well...
Just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended.
I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be a kind of insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cockadoodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me.
Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you, no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator, or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. You played me from the start, didn't you?
It wasn't my intention.
I'm an old cock, Natasha. I've played too many of these games, and I've been on the losing side often enough.
So, you're going to walk away?
You're damn right. I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Look, Sonny, money's not an issue.
Oh yeah, your fawn had already mentioned that, but unfortunately, it'll be hard to spend all that dough when I'm dead.
Dead? Don't even say that.
Do you have a gun?
Me?
Of course you, Natasha. Do you have it on you?
Not at the moment.
Well, let me give you some advice. Keep it with you, always. Maybe in your purse.
You don't think they, whoever they are, would hurt me?
Don't be naive, Natasha.
You're right. I'll keep it with me.
I don't want to scare you, but 2 cops snooping around can mess something like this up, even if it's just 2 roosters.
You'll keep snooping? Thank you, Sonny.
Maybe you're getting yourself into even deeper trouble with me. Thank me when this is all over.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Do you have a light, Natasha?
I'm sorry. I've never smoked.
Really? That's very uncommon in your line of work.
It was uncommon in all my previous lines of work, too. But I promise the next time we meet, I'll bring you a box of matches.
I might take you up on that.
No trouble at all.
Why did you name it the Tsar Club when you took over? It was the Millions before.
Maybe you can guess my origins from my name and my accent. I come from the eastern Tsardom of Slavonia. We are quite respectful of our leaders.
Do you feel that's not the case here in Clawville?
Here? No. Absolutely not, Mr. Featherland. Many here don't even know the name of their king. To them, he's only the Fox King. It's quite disrespectful and rude.
There's some truth to that.
Where I'm from, we choose our leaders ourselves, and whatever they do later, we proudly stand by our decision.
So that's why the name, in respect to your country.
Don't take me for so sentimental. It's only partly the reason. We lived there until I was 14. Then we had to flee. It doesn't matter why. In the end, I was the only one who made it to Clawville. So the name isn't because of nostalgia or respect. More like a reminder.
So, why Deborah?
I could not seek you out in person. It was risky even to send Debbie.
It's too late now. Mr. Wessler is aware of my little investigation.
I'm sorry I got her mixed up in this. She's a lovely girl.
She looked like one. May I be brash?
It's New Year's Eve. Everything goes tonight.
Ibn, do you love him?
In my own way, yes, I do.
Whatever that means.
You can't understand this, Sonny. There are women who can't actually love. Not like they're supposed to. But that doesn't mean they don't love however they can.
That's not a real answer, is it?
If you only accept yes or no, then yes, I love him.
So this message...
I'm sorry I had to upset you, Sonny, but if I didn't take that step, would we be talking here right now?
Well, probably I'd be dead drunk and counting sheepmen in my dreams.
I'm good for you, you see?
Yeah, you're a real angel. Why just me? What's wrong with my partner?
Nothing in the world. I just like to be discreet. I wanted to talk to you in private because of Molly.
Well, thank you for your discretion. It means a lot.
Don't mention it.
So, who's this Olivia bird?
I know well what you're curious about. You want to know if she's sleeping with Ibn.
The thought may have crossed my mind.
You men. But guess what? Maybe she does.
You don't care?
As long as he loves me, I don't.
Well, that's your business. What do you know about her?
She's not the one threatening me. You can be sure of that. I know that was your next thought. The lovesick assistant is jealous of the boss's girlfriend and wants to flick her out of the picture. It would even stand up, but Olivia doesn't have feelings. If she let Ibn sleep with her, it's because she does what he says, nothing more.
That was so honest and raw, I'm inclined to believe it. Do you have a light, Natasha?
I'm sorry.
Really?
It was on...
Well,
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh. You know, Sonny, I love Laura, and I swear I'm gonna marry her one day. But I gotta admit, that Natasha woman has turned even my head.
I wouldn't mess with Laura if I were you, pal. Wouldn't even think about it. There are few women as dangerous as her. And not just because she's a predator.
You're telling me. A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny. Creepy little squirrel girl.
Hey, Big Nose, where did Mr. Wessler go?
Unfortunately, I don't know, Big Face, but I wouldn't tell you even if I did. Really?
Say, did anyone ever tell you that you're an irritating piece of sh...
Anything else, dear sirs?
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
The truth is, Ibn's a dirty bastard, but he's likable. It must be his charisma that snared Natasha.
Maybe there's more to it than simple wild love.
Who knows? Animals commit the dirtiest of deeds for wild love.
You've got a point.
Wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
That's funny. I swear I've heard that before.
Huh, to be honest, me too.
So, Natasha invited us to her weekend house.
That's either very good news or very bad news.
50%. That's not that bad, is it?
That's an admirable attitude.
Attitude, yeah, he's got that. Most of the time, I think that's all he's got.
Hey,
Who is this woman anyway? She's like Ibn's shadow. Nobody knows anything about her.
I don't know if she has anything to do with the case, but it's worth keeping an eye on her anyway.
More women, more trouble.
You already fantasizing?
Even the sight of young women make me tired. Anyway, most people say she's the rat's lover too. But next to Natasha, I doubt he'd want her. Anyway, the pussycat would have already torn her to shreds.
Could be. Take care of yourself, old bird.
You're one to talk.
remember that old case with the fox and the raven?
How could I even forget?
Absurd, right? All that bloodshed for a piece of cheese.
Yeah, hunger can bring out the monster in animals, right?
And the wildest and most primordial instincts, no matter how civilized they seem.
As you say, Marty. Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino Featherland.
Gabriel, what do you want? Chickens.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Thanks, big boy. Listen, pal. Maybe if,
Did I stutter, chicken? Get lost.
Listen, pal. Maybe if,
Did I stutter, chicken? Get lost.
Oh, it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but
But what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
you don't beat around the bush, ma'am.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
Do you come here often, Olivia?
No, not really.
Well, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. You know, Ibn's not as ferocious as you'd think. On the contrary, he's become very different recently.
I heard. Don't you find that weird? A sudden change of heart?
Sometimes an animal just has enough. Fed up and wants a change. I deeply respect that.
Well, thank you for your honesty, ma'am. What's your relationship with Miss Natasha Katsenko?
We've talked a bit, that's all.
There's no tension between you? You know, the pretty secretary.
Well, thank you for your compliment, Mr. Featherland. No, no tension. Natasha's an intelligent woman. I respect her.
Is that mutual?
That I can't tell.
If I'm not mistaken, Natasha has a weekend house in Flowerville.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I've never been there. Allegedly, it's beautiful. Elegant and luxurious. Just like Natasha herself.
Look, Olivia, you know, last time...
Please, Marty, there's no need.
Yes, there is. I know I wasn't a gentleman, and I know I should have called you, but I was young and...
You don't have to explain. I wasn't waiting long for your call. I forgot about it fast.
That's good to hear, I suppose.
I'm sorry we disturbed you.
Not at all. Have a nice evening, gentlemen.
I'm sorry we
Not at all.